Your mother just called. She says you need to apologize to your narcissistic ex. Your best friend since childhood just texted, telling you you're being too sensitive about the abuse you suffered. Your own sister is suddenly defending the person who destroyed your mental health, saying, they're not that bad, and you should give them another chance. And the worst part? These people love you. They think they're helping. You've been gaslit, manipulated, and abused. You finally escaped. You finally found the courage to set boundaries, to speak your truth, to protect yourself. And now the people who are supposed to have your back, the ones who claim they love you, have become weapons in the hands of your abuser. You feel crazy. You feel isolated. You wonder if maybe you really are the problem. But here's what's actually happening. You're experiencing one of the most insidious tactics in the narcissist's playbook, a phenomenon so devastating that it's destroyed families, ended friendships, and left survivors questioning their own sanity. It's called flying monkeys, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how this psychological warfare works, why even good people become accomplices to your abuse, and most importantly, how to protect yourself without losing everyone you love. What you don't realize is that narcissists are master strategists. They don't just abuse you directly. They build an entire ecosystem of enablers, defenders, and unwitting accomplices who do their dirty work for them. And here's the terrifying part. These flying monkeys genuinely believe they're being helpful. They think they're mediating, peacekeeping, or helping you see reason. The secret is that narcissists have spent months or years carefully crafting a narrative about you, planting seeds of doubt, playing the victim, and positioning themselves as the reasonable one while painting you as unstable, dramatic, or cruel. In this video, I'm going to reveal 3 forbidden truths that narcissistic abuse communities know, but society refuses to acknowledge. First, I'll show you the 2 types of flying monkeys and why one is far more dangerous than the other. Second, I'll expose the exact psychological scripts narcissists use to recruit your own loved ones as their soldiers. And third, I'll give you a battle-tested framework to neutralize their influence without destroying every relationship in your life. Because understanding this isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about reclaiming your reality in a world that's been turned upside down. Let's start with the core concept. The term flying monkeys comes from the Wizard of Oz, where the Wicked Witch sends her winged servants to do her bidding, to harass Dorothy, to carry out her agenda while she remains safely distant. In narcissistic abuse psychology, flying monkeys are the people the narcissist recruits, consciously or unconsciously, to support their narrative, defend their behavior, and attack or pressure their victim. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a clinical psychologist specializing in narcissistic abuse, explains that this is a form of abuse by proxy. The narcissist doesn't have to get their hands dirty. They simply weaponize the social connections, the family bonds, the friendships that their victim holds dear. Think of it like this. Imagine you're playing chess, and your opponent doesn't just move their own pieces. They reach across the board and start moving your pieces too, turning your own pawns, your own knights, against you. That's what a narcissist does with flying monkeys. They don't fight fair. They don't fight alone. They recruit an army from your own circle, and the psychological impact is devastating because when abuse comes from a stranger, you can dismiss it. But when it comes from your mother, your brother, your best friend, people you trust, it cuts deeper than any wound the narcissist could inflict directly. Research published in the Journal of Family Violence shows that social isolation is one of the most powerful tools in an abuser's arsenal. When a victim is cut off from their support network, or worse, when that network turns against them, the psychological damage compounds exponentially. Survivors report higher rates of depression, anxiety, complex PTSD, and even suicidal ideation when they experience this secondary abuse from people who were supposed to protect them. This is why understanding flying monkeys isn't just academic. It's survival. Now let's break down the mechanisms. The first thing you need to understand is that not all flying monkeys are created equal. There are 2 distinct types, and recognizing the difference is critical to your strategy. The benevolent flying monkey, the manipulated peacekeeper. These are genuinely good people with empathetic hearts who have been psychologically manipulated. They're usually people pleasers, conflict avoiders, or individuals who deeply value family harmony. The narcissist approaches them when you're not around and tells them a carefully edited version of events. I'm so worried about them. They've been so angry lately. I just want to fix things, but they won't even talk to me. The narcissist plays the victim so convincingly that these kind-hearted people genuinely believe they're helping by encouraging you to reconcile, to let it go, to be the bigger person. Here's the neuroscience. The human brain is wired for narrative coherence. When someone tells us a story, especially an emotional one, our mirror neurons fire, and we literally feel what they're describing. If the narcissist is crying, if they seem hurt and confused, our brains interpret that as genuine suffering. Dr. Paul Ekman's research on microexpressions shows that skilled manipulators can fake emotions so convincingly that even trained observers struggle to detect the deception. So your sweet, empathetic aunt who's urging you to forgive? She's not evil. She's been lied to, and her compassion has been weaponized. Real-world example. Your mother calls you and says, "Your father is devastated. He says he doesn't understand why you won't speak to him. He just wants to make things right. Can't you just have one conversation?" What she doesn't know is that your father, the covert narcissist, has been telling her a sanitized version of events, leaving out the years of emotional abuse, the gaslighting, the control. She sees a sad old man who misses his child. You see the person who destroyed your sense of self. She becomes a flying monkey not out of malice, but out of ignorance. The malevolent flying monkey, the knowing accomplice. These are the people who know, on some level, what's really happening, but they benefit from the narcissist's approval, or they share the narcissist's worldview, or they simply enjoy the drama. These are often other narcissists, enablers, or individuals with their own toxic traits. They actively participate in smear campaigns, spread rumors, and attack you directly, all while the narcissist sits back and watches the chaos unfold. The psychology here is more sinister. Research on moral disengagement by Dr. Albert Bandura shows that people can rationalize harmful behavior through various mechanisms, dehumanizing the victim, minimizing the harm, or displacing responsibility. The malevolent flying monkey might think, well, they probably deserved it, or it's not my business, or the narcissist has been good to me, so I'm going to take their side. These individuals are often in enmeshed or codependent relationships with the narcissist and will sacrifice you to maintain their own position in the narcissist's hierarchy. Real-world example. Your narcissistic sibling tells your entire extended family that you're mentally unstable, that you've cut them off for no reason, that you're cruel and vindictive. Your cousin, who's always competed with you, jumps on the bandwagon. She posts vague Facebook statuses about family members who spread lies and blocks you. She's not confused. She's chosen her side because it serves her. She gets closer to the narcissist, gets social validation from the family for being loyal, and gets to hurt you in the process. That's a malevolent flying monkey. The recruitment script. How narcissists build their army. Narcissists use 3 primary psychological tactics to recruit flying monkeys, and once you know the script, you'll see it everywhere. Tactic 1. The smear campaign. Before you even realize what's happening, the narcissist has been planting seeds. They tell mutual friends and family members little stories, tiny criticisms, subtle digs. Have you noticed they've been a bit off lately? I'm worried about them. They've been so angry. I don't know what I did wrong. I tried to help, but they just lashed out at me. Over time, these microdoses of poison create a narrative that you're the unstable one, the aggressive one, the problem. Then, when you finally set boundaries or call out the abuse, the flying monkeys already have a framework for interpreting your behavior. They think, see, just like the narcissist said, they are losing it. Tactic 2. The victim reversal. This is the narcissist's signature move. They take the abuse they inflicted on you and flip it. If they screamed at you, they tell everyone you screamed at them. If they controlled your finances, they claim you were irresponsible with money. If they gaslit you, they say you're the one who twists reality. Dr. Jennifer Freyd's research on DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender, shows this is a classic manipulation tactic. The narcissist denies the abuse, attacks your credibility, and positions themselves as the real victim. And flying monkeys, especially benevolent ones, fall for it because humans have a cognitive bias toward believing the person who speaks first and most convincingly. Real-world example. You finally tell your best friend that your partner has been emotionally abusive. But what you don't know is that your partner already spoke to your friend weeks ago, crying, saying, "I'm trying so hard, but nothing I do is ever good enough for them. They're so critical. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells." Now, when you share your truth, your friend is skeptical. They think you're both toxic or that it's complicated. The narcissist got there first. Tactic 3. The triangulation and loyalty test. Narcissists love to create triangles. You, them, and a third party. They'll tell the third party something you allegedly said about them, or they'll share your private struggles to make you look bad. Then they sit back and watch the conflict unfold. They might say to your mother, "Your child said they don't respect you," when you never said that. Or they tell your coworker, "They've been complaining about you behind your back," creating division and mistrust. This serves two purposes. It isolates you, and it tests who's loyal to the narcissist. Those who come running to defend the narcissist? Recruited. Those who check with you first? Potential allies. Now let's talk about the hidden impact, the part that breaks people. Imagine this. You've been in an abusive relationship for 5 years. You finally leave. You're rebuilding. You're in therapy. You're starting to remember who you were before the narcissist rewired your brain. And then Thanksgiving comes. You walk into your family's house, and the room goes cold. Your aunt won't make eye contact. Your brother makes a passive-aggressive comment about people who can't handle conflict maturely. Your mother pulls you aside and begs you to just be civil to your abuser, who's been invited to the family gathering because they're part of the family too. You feel your chest tighten. You feel the tears building. You feel like you're drowning in a room full of people who claim they love you. Because in that moment, you realize the abuse didn't end when you left. It's still happening. It's just wearing the faces of people you trust. The emotional exhaustion is crushing. You've already fought so hard to escape the narcissist. Now you have to fight your own family? You start doubting yourself. Maybe I am being dramatic. Maybe I should just get over it. Maybe I am the problem. That's the hidden impact. That's why flying monkeys are so dangerous. They make you question the one thing you need to heal, your reality. Dr. Christine Louis de Canonville, who specializes in narcissistic victim syndrome, describes this as soul murder. When your support system becomes your enemy, when the people who should validate your pain instead gaslight you further, it shatters your ability to trust not just others, but yourself. Survivors often report feeling more betrayed by the flying monkeys than by the narcissist because the narcissist's cruelty was expected. But the people who loved you, that betrayal cuts deeper. So, how do you protect yourself? Here's your framework. The shield method. S. Separate the source from the messenger. When a flying monkey approaches you with pressure or criticism, mentally separate what they're saying from who's really behind it. Ask yourself, is this their genuine concern, or are they echoing the narcissist's script? If they're using phrases the narcissist uses, if their argument sounds rehearsed, if they just happened to bring this up right after talking to the narcissist, you know you're dealing with manipulation, not authentic care. Don't argue with the messenger. Simply say, "I appreciate your concern, but this is between me and them." Gray, rock the flying monkey. Give them nothing to report back. H. Hold your boundaries without explanation. Flying monkeys will push you to explain, justify, or defend your decision to distance yourself from the narcissist. Don't. The more you explain, the more ammunition you give them to twist your words and feed back to the narcissist. Practice phrases like, "I've made my decision, and I'm not open to discussing it. I'm not comfortable talking about this. My boundaries aren't up for negotiation." When you don't jade, justify, argue, defend, explain, you take away their power. Identify your true allies. Not everyone will become a flying monkey. Some people will see through the narcissist's manipulation. Some will trust you. Some will respect your boundaries without needing the full story. These are your people. Invest in them. A single person who believes you is worth more than a dozen who demand proof. Build your chosen family. E. Educate strategically, but know when to walk away. With benevolent flying monkeys, sometimes education helps. You might send them an article on narcissistic abuse or calmly explain gaslighting. But here's the key. If they double down, if they get defensive, if they insist you're just as bad, stop. You're not required to convince anyone of your abuse. If someone truly cares about you, your pain should be enough. If it's not, they've chosen their side. L. Limit contact or go no contact if necessary. This is the hardest one. Sometimes, to protect your mental health, you have to distance yourself from flying monkeys, even if they're family. This doesn't make you cruel. It makes you wise. You can love someone from a distance. You can wish them well without allowing them access to hurt you. Going low or no contact with toxic flying monkeys is not punishment. It's self-preservation. D. Document everything. If the flying monkeys escalate, if they spread lies, if they harass you, document it. Screenshots, recordings, where legal, written records. This serves two purposes. It validates your reality when you're being gaslit, and it protects you if legal action ever becomes necessary. You're not paranoid. You're prepared. Let's recap the 3 most important takeaways. First, flying monkeys come in 2 forms. Benevolent ones who've been manipulated, and malevolent ones who knowingly participate. Understanding the difference helps you decide who's worth educating and who's worth avoiding. Second, narcissists recruit flying monkeys through smear campaigns, victim reversal, and triangulation, creating an entire ecosystem of enablers before you even realize what's happening. Third, protecting yourself requires the SHIELD method. Separate the source from the messenger. Hold boundaries without explanation. Identify true allies. Educate strategically. Limit contact when needed, and document everything. Remember where you started. You walked into this video feeling isolated, confused, betrayed by the people who should have protected you. You questioned whether you were the problem, whether you were too sensitive, whether you should just give in and go back. But now you understand the game. You see the manipulation. You recognize the tactics. You know that the flying monkeys aren't proof that you're wrong. They're proof that the narcissist is desperate, pulling strings, recruiting soldiers, doing anything to maintain control. You're not crazy. You're not alone. You're awake. And that awareness is the first step to reclaiming your power, your peace, and your life. If you want to understand the hidden forces that shape your mind, the psychological tactics that manipulate you, and the strategies to protect yourself, subscribe now for a new insight every week. This channel exists to give you the tools that society doesn't teach you, the knowledge that sets you free. And in the comments, tell me, have you experienced flying monkeys in your own life? Was it a family member, a friend, or someone you never expected? Sharing your story not only helps you process what happened, it helps someone else reading this feel less alone. You might be the validation someone desperately needs today.